Hey everybody, I'm Benji Studt with Palm Beach County's Environmental Resources Management. We're out here this morning at Pine Glades Natural Area, one of our favorite spots. I'm here with Mark Cook, Dr. Mark Cook, avian ecologist with South Florida Water Management District.
Yep.
And we're out here early today in this habitat, this gorgeous slash pine habitat, and we're going to be looking and listening for this really special bird, the northern bobwhite.
Right.
And so we burned this habitat about 4 months ago. And that is really, really essential for these birds, right?
Right.
So what's going on with these birds over the last 50 years and why is this so important that we're doing this out here?
So, you know, the northern bobwhite, it's one of these birds that's super common. You know, it's one of these, keep common birds common. They were super abundant and they've just declined dramatically. It's unfortunately, you know, we see all these birds that are very common and they can just disappear super quickly. So this is one of those birds that's been lost. I think we've lost about 85% of them since the late 60s, early 70s. So across their range in the southeast United States.
And that's incredible, an 85% population decline.
Yeah.
These are birds that are heavily studied because they are, you know, a food source, they're a game bird.
Right.
So why has that population decline happened, especially here in the south, here in Florida?
Right. So it's largely to do with changes to the habitat, loss of habitat, and what they're looking for really is these open woodland areas like this mixed with sort of fields and meadows, and that's the perfect habitat. But a lot of that has been lost. We've lost not only these forests to development and large-scale agriculture. A lot of these habitats are fire-driven, naturally fire-driven. You know, in Florida and the southeast of the United States, we get these, you know, these lightning storms, these summer rainy seasons with lots of lightning, and that sets light to these fires. But it's really essential to the ecology because these low-level burns that go across these huge areas sort of keep all the shrubs down. They keep all the sort of the rank vegetation and keep it at a more open, and that allows all this wonderful vegetation to grow. The grasses, the forbs, all these succulent plants here that we have, and you know, it's those that these birds are feeding on the buds, the seeds, the insects that are attracted to these plants. So
right, and so we get these kind of insect explosions after a burn, and that is essential. Not just for the habitat, but also for them breeding, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So, and that's the case with a lot of birds. Many birds, you know, during the non-breeding season are eating fruits or seeds or whatever, but, you know, for rapid growth of their youngsters, many species of birds, including the northern bobwhite, requires a lot of protein, and that protein comes from, you know, invertebrates and, you know, insects and everything that, you know, all these critters that are living in this wonderful habitat.
So out here at Pine Glades, you know, the burning is essential. We brought this habitat back. We've seen the quail come back. And I think kind of the positive out of this, you know, we see these dramatic population declines, but we know that if we manage our public lands right, then we can bring these birds back because they're really productive breeders, right?
That's right, yeah. So, you know, this is part of the quail family. They will lay 12 to 15 eggs in one go, and they can have multiple clutches per year. So a lot of the problem actually has been during the nesting season itself. They actually are very prone to predation during the nesting season.
Because they nest on the ground.
Yeah, and particularly in the southeastern region, that's where, you know, we have, I think it's about 20 to 30% success rate for each clutch, which is pretty low.
All right, so today we're gonna go looking for these birds, and that's the challenge with these birds because we'll hear them. We've heard them this morning already.
Right.
I'm sure you guys will hear them, but the challenge is seeing them because they're so good at hiding in this grass cover. They move around, but we'll see if we can find a few.
Right.
You ready to go?
Yep, let's go.
All right, let's go. finally got one. We've been out here, I'm soaked through my shirt, been out here for a couple of hours in July, but we were just rewarded. We had this beautiful male northern bobwhite calling from up in one of these slash pine snags, right in the habitat where we knew we'd find him. We've been hearing him all morning, but like we said, it's so difficult to actually see these birds. But we found one of these males. They're calling, it's a little late in the season, but you hear that bobwhite, and that's one of these birds where even for novice birders, it's one of the easiest calls to find in the woods. And it's also essential for finding these birds because 90% of the time, 95% of the time, that is all you're gonna hear. What a day, what a morning out here at Pine Glades in this beautiful fire managed slash pine habitat. And we finally got our northern bobwhite.
Yeah, so after searching around for what was, a couple of hours, we finally found a bird, and he gave us just a great view. He, a singing male that was calling, and he was right up in a pine snag, right up in front of us. So yeah, I thought we were going to fail for today, but we finally got our bird. So that's great.
Well, Mark, as kind of usual, the last cast.
Yeah, there we are.
So our last spot, we've been out here for a couple hours, sweating through the clothes, hearing birds all over.
Right.
But we just got rewarded.
Yeah.
We saw this beautiful male calling from the tree, and then actually found him on the ground, doing exactly what these birds do, which is move about on the ground. And wow, so hard to photograph.
Yeah.
But we got some, we got a few frames.
That's right. We had him within 6 feet of you, 10 feet of me, and we still couldn't get a good video of him or a good photo of him because it's just, just the environment, but they're around. And I think the really encouraging thing is that, even though we're really late in the season, we're still hearing them and still seeing them. They're doing second clutches. The habitat's great for them, so they're doing really well here, despite the fact that their populations are declining overall. This place is great habitat for them, and hopefully it will help with their recovery.
Absolutely. So one more reason why our Palm Beach County natural areas are just so special, and we live in such an amazing place here in the Palm Beaches. Yeah. We've got the bobwhites calling right behind us. Yeah. What a morning. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm so glad we finally got our bird.
It was great. Yeah.
All right.
A bit sweaty, but a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. Another awesome day in the swamp.
Absolutely.
We'll see you guys next time. Until then, keep getting outdoors, visit your Palm Beach County natural areas, and discover the amazing, amazing things that happen out here in the wilds of the Palm Beaches.